So you probably saw those headlines, right? A huge airline gets hacked. Millions of customer records are out there in the wild. And you're probably thinking, oh, I've heard this story before. But what if I told you the airline wasn't even the real target? Yeah, this one's different. Let's get into it.
Yeah, 6 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many customer records from the Australian airline Qantas just got dumped onto the dark web. And we're talking about the important stuff. Names, phone numbers, emails. I mean, this was a massive breach. But here's the thing, and this is the real twist in the story. As huge as that number is, if we only focus on Qantas, we're completely missing the point. The airline wasn't the main goal here. Nope, they were just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Back in July, the news breaks, and bam, all eyes are on Qantas. The media, the public, everyone's pointing fingers at the airline. But what nobody realized was that the real story, well, it was still hiding in the shadows. So what exactly did the hackers get their hands on? Well, they grabbed a lot of personal info. Your name, email, phone number, birthday, even your frequent flyer number. But, and this is really important, Qantas was quick to say that the super sensitive stuff, passwords, credit card info, ID documents, all that was safe. Which, okay, is a bit of a relief, but let's be real, the damage was already done.
All right, now let's zoom out and look at the real target. Because by zeroing in on just the airline, everybody was looking in the wrong place. The real story here wasn't about who got hit, it was about how they got hit.
This whole thing was what we call a supply chain attack. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like this. Imagine a thief wants to rob an entire apartment building. Instead of trying to pick every single lock, which is hard, they just steal the janitor's master key. With that one key, boom, they have access to every single apartment. That's what happened here. The big companies have these massive digital walls, so hackers are getting smart and looking for an easier way in, usually through a smaller, trusted partner.
And here's the play-by-play. This hacker group, they go by Scattered Lapsus Hunters. Kind of a wild name, right? They didn't even try to knock on Qantas's front door. No, they were smarter than that. They found a side entrance, a weak spot in a third-party platform that connects to Salesforce. And by breaking through that one weak link, they got the keys to the kingdom, with potential access to around 40 huge global companies.
And just look at this list of targets. We're not talking about small businesses here. We're talking about Google, Disney, Toyota, IKEA. These are brands we interact with every single day. This is what really shows you the insane scale of this attack. Qantas wasn't the prize. It was just the first domino they managed to push over.
So the data's out there. The hack was a success. Now what? Well, this is where the real damage, the long-term stuff, actually begins.
You've probably heard of the cybersecurity expert Troy Hunt, right? He runs that website Have I Been Pwned? Well, he was the one who confirmed this data was legit, and he put it perfectly. He said, the genie is out of the bottle. And what does that actually mean? The genie is out of the bottle. It means that once your data is leaked online, it's gone, forever. It gets copied, pasted, shared, sold, it spreads like wildfire. Even if law enforcement takes down the original website where it was posted, it doesn't matter. Thousands of copies already exist. There is absolutely no way to get it back.
Now, to their credit, law enforcement moved in fast. The hackers set this ransom deadline, right? And just a day before it hit, the FBI, the DOJ, French authorities, they all teamed up and seized the hackers' website. A big win, except it wasn't. This group is known for being totally unpredictable. They just shrugged, popped up a new website, and started leaking the data anyway.
And this whole chaotic cat and mouse game, it points to something really important. The whole reason for these attacks is changing. It's not just about getting a quick payday from a ransom anymore.
There's this cybercrime expert, Professor Triveni Singh, who calls stolen data a strategic asset. Think about that. It's not just a product to be sold, it's a strategic tool. Its value is way, way bigger than just the money you could get for it.
So what does that even mean, a strategic asset? Well, sure, there's the obvious stuff like identity theft, but that's just scratching the surface. This data can be used for corporate espionage. It can be used to create these incredibly convincing phishing emails. The ones that look so real you'd never guess they're fake. It's basically the fuel for all kinds of high-level psychological manipulation.
Look, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple, powerful idea. In the world we live in now, data security isn't just some tech problem for the IT guys to figure out. It is the absolute bedrock of trust. Trust between you, the customer, and every single company you give your information to.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty scary, right? Big, complex problems. But here's the good news. You are not helpless in this. So let's talk about what you can actually do. Let's build your personal digital defense plan.
I mean, if even the biggest companies in the world can't keep their data safe, the question we all have to ask is, how do I protect myself? How do I lock down my own digital life?
The experts all agree on 2 critical, non-negotiable steps. Seriously, everyone should be doing this. Number 1, turn on two-factor authentication or 2FA for every single important account you have. Your email, your bank, your social media, everything. It is probably the single best thing you can do to protect yourself. And number 2, get a little paranoid. Be super cautious with any suspicious emails or links you get. If it's asking for personal info and it feels even a little bit weird, just don't click it. Trust your gut.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We live in this world of digital supply chains, where our personal data is passed between companies we don't even know exist. So the real question isn't about how strong Qantas is, or Disney, or Google. The question is, how strong is your weakest link?